Hi everybody, I'm Mikey, and this is part of the Advent Calendar series that is a crochet along. For those working on the crochet along with me, every few days a new video will be available to advance you to the next part of your project. There are 15 tutorials in all to complete today's project. If you're finding this and the crochet along is done, all videos will stay up indefinitely. In the more information of this video, you'll find a link to the playlist where all the tutorials will be listed in order for you to play along. The entire pattern is now available for free for those who don't need a video. Refer to the video description to get redirected to the pattern. So in the meantime, let's begin with today's tutorial to advance you to the next step, and of course wishing you the very best of the festive season ahead. So in today's tutorial we're going to work on the reindeer. Just as you see, it's got a red nose, it's Rudolph, it's one-sided, but it is three-dimensional as you see here. It's got some antlers, it's got some ears, and got a little bit of eyes if you can tell there. And we're going to start. So we're going to start off with the snout and work our way back toward the back. You'll need a bit of stuffing. Today I'm going to be using Karen's Simply Soft Tweeds in order to do it, so it's going to have a slightly different look than this one as far as like color wise, but other than that it's going to be the same. So let's grab our yarn and let's begin. So let's begin. Today you'll need a size F crochet hook in order to play with this one. So you're going to start off with a slip knot and you're going to chain a total of 2. So let's begin. So 1 and 2, and what we're going to do is 8 single crochet second chain from the hook. So in the first chain that you created, so second chain from the hook, I want you to do 8 single crochets in there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, just like that. And I want you to join with the slip stitch to the beginning. So if you're not sure, just count it backwards. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 right there. So just join it there, and then we're going to continue now to round number 2. So round number 2, chain up 1 and 1 single crochet in each, going all the way around. So I'm not counting, I'm just doing. So just 1 single crochet in each stitch going all the way, and then we're going to join it with a slip stitch when we get back to the other side. So I just want to make sure it's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So I'm just going to pop it so the middle is coming out towards me. It just is easier to work on it from this point. So it says repeat the second round two more times. So just chain up 1 and you're going to do 1 single crochet in each of them, and then join it with a slip stitch, and then do it 1 more time. So do 2 more rows just as you know it, 1 single crochet into each, and then meet me back here in just a moment. So 2 rounds are now complete, and now I'm ready to move on to the head. So now what we're going to do is chain up 1 and then 2 single crochets into each, every single stitch going around. So we're going to start expanding. So 2 single crochets in each going all the way around, and then join it with the slip stitch, and I'll see you there in just a moment. So I'm going to slip stitch to the beginning one, and then the next 3 rounds are going, the next 4 rounds are all going to be the same. So we're going to chain up 1 and it's going to be 1 single crochet into each going all the way around. I want you to do this for this round, and then 3 more rounds as well. So you do this for a total of 4 rounds so that you can grow out the head. So it's 1 single crochet in each stitch all the way around, slip stitch it to join, and then continue again. So you get 4 rounds of single crochet in each. I'll see you at the end of that. So I'm coming up to the end, repeating that 4 times, and I'm just slip stitching. So I want you to grab a little bit of stuffing. At this point you need to stuff it lightly to give it its 3-dimensional shape, and I'm actually pulling stuffing from a pillow, if you can imagine. So what I'm just doing is just a little bit of stuffing is just enough to keep its shape, and if you overstuff things then it bleeds stuffing. So it's just enough, you can see it's in there. Okay, so now what we're going to do then is that we're going to finish off the top of the head here in this round here. So we're going to chain up 1 and we're going to do 1 or 2 single crochets together every time around. So just go in the first one, collect it, leave it on the hook, and then go into the next one, pull through and collect it. So you get 3 loops, pull through all 3, and you want to continually do that all the way around. So come into the next one, pull through, the next one, pull through, and then just pull through. So do that again, and again and again. So at the end of this, I want you to leave an extra long tail, and then we're going to use that to gather it all together and sew it together at the top of the head. I was kind of procrastinating the reindeer because I thought it'd be a lot harder than this. I should know better by now, right? Okay. Okay, so once you're all the way around, just slip stitch it to the very beginning one. So you'll still end up with a slight hole here in the top, which we have to get rid of. So just leave this as a longer tail. And what we're going to do is just trim it and then just pull this loop through. Now with this loop, I want you to put it into a darning needle. Sorry, with the string. And I want you to collect the remaining stitches. So just going in. So I'm going to pull it at the end. So just going into each stitch. It's like a clothesline really. And at the end you're just going to pull on it and it will close everything up at the top. So once you're back all the way around, just give it a good pull. See? Pulled everything, and then just go across diagonal and then in the other direction. So it's good to go. And so now what you're going to do is just go in and out of the work 3 times. So 1, 2. Okay, that one I went in the same path, so therefore it fell out. So I'm going to go 1, go in a different path for 2, and then a different path for 3. So you can't go exactly through the same fiber trail, or it will never hold. And then trim. Okay, so there is the head now, and I have things to add to it and etc. So let's begin to work on the nose next, and then that's the next part. So let's start working on the nose, and we're going to create a slip knot to begin. We're moving back to a size H crochet hook today. You'll notice that I've been using the same size. It's my own preference when I go to crochet here on camera. So I'm going to chain 2, and I'm going to do 6 single crochets into the middle, into the first one, sorry, second chain from the hook. So 1 and 2, this is 3, 4, 5, and 6, and you're going to notice that there's going to be a slight hole in the beginning. Once you get your 6, just slip stitch it to the beginning one, and then that's it. So just trim this yarn. You need enough of it to sew it onto your project, so trim it long enough and then just pull that through. Don't worry about the hole in the center of this. So let's take our project now, and I'm going to just sew that right onto the project. So let's take the darning needle and position it in a way so you can look at the original and see it's kind of flat straight up like this. So we get to do that too. So just taking it through, just get it into position so that you can play with it, and then just going in and out of the work to be able to put it on. You see it kind of wants to buckle up on itself to give the look of the Rudolph snout. And if you're not getting that, then what you can just do is you can go across at an angle like that. See, and that'll pull things out as well. So once you think you're satisfied with that, you can just get rid of your loose ends. So just using this, just go in and out of the red section only. So 1, going into the red section again for 2, red section again for 3, but go right through the actual head itself, and then back out through the bottom. And then what you can just do is just trim that there, reshape, and it will disappear inside of the project. So there is the Rudolph snout, just like there. So let's make some ears. You need to obviously make 2 of them, and using an F size, so a smaller size crochet hook once again, and you're going to chain a total of 4. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, and it says to slip stitch second chain from the hook. So slip first into the first one, so just go into the back loop only, slip it, and it says 1 single crochet in the next chain. So it gives it a bit of a bigger look, and then slip stitch into the last one. Okay. So once you get that done, just trim this long enough so that you can sew that onto your project. So just pull through. So use the starting strand and this strand together, and when you go to sew it on, you want to position it. So look at the original sample. You see it's more down on the side when you're going to attach. So please do that, and do that with the second ear, and I'll just come back to review on how to sew those on. So do your second ear now. So let's begin to sew on the ear. You have your starting strand and the one that you finish with. Try to make sure both strands are the same distance. It just is easier to work with. And you're just going to fold them over and throw them into a darning needle. So using the picture in the sample, you can actually position where the ear is going to be. So just start off, doesn't matter which side, but make sure you're paying attention to where the nose is so that you can keep that in balance with each other. The ears are more slightly down than the actual antlers. So coming through the ear, coming through the head, go through the project, so go through the ear. Okay, and then back through the head, come back around, and then go through the ear one more time. And that's it. So then just turn it over to the back side. So just going in and out of the project 3 times like I had showed you before. So I got 1. So I want you to repeat this for the other ear. I don't need to show you how to put that on. You just had a lesson now. So do this with the same with the other ear, and then we'll start with the antlers next. So just weave in and out 3 times, and then just trim it off here in the back. So now it's root off the 1-eared reindeer right at this moment. So let's continue and get the other ear on, and then we'll do the antlers next. So at this time I have my ears in. I don't have my antlers. We're going to do those next, and then we have to embroider the eyes to create the loop, and you're almost done. So let's begin to do the antlers next. So let's begin. It says to use an M size crochet hook. That's quite a large hook. That's the size 9mm. So you're going to begin, and you're going to chain a total of 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And now what you're going to do is that you're going to single crochet second chain from the hook, and then 1 into each of them. So turn it over and get the back loop only. So just go second chain from the hook and just go all the way down. Just like that. Okay, so now you're going to turn your work, and you're going to slip stitch in the first of the 3 stitch and the first of the 3. So just come right in and just slip stitch. So through and through, through and through, through and through. And now here what we're going to do is that we're going to chain 2 and then slip stitch into the same single crochet. So same one. And then what you're going to do then is that you are going to single crochet in the last stitch. Just like that. Okay, so now you're going to just fasten this off, and you're going to do this a total of twice. So what I would do if I were you is that use this strand here at the end, and just kind of use it when you go to fasten it off, that you're going to just kind of bring the top together. So you see that you got a kind of a knob coming out. So just kind of going across, just create this so that it bunches this at the top when you go to get rid of this loose end. Okay, so that keeps the knob kind of coming out, and then just going through the project down. And the other strand that we're working with at the very starting is going to be the one that goes right into the project itself. Okay, so just be a little bit creative if you want to. And I need you to do 2 of these in order to have the antlers on the top of your reindeer. So do that next, and get the other one done, and then sew it down to your project. So you want to do it so that the antler nub is facing down, just like you see there. So now we have to put on the eyes, and we just need some black string in order to do it. So black yarn, and I'm going to just create that, and I'm not creating a slip knot or anything. This is more of an embroidery technique. So I'm going to come up through the back side of this underneath, and I'm just going to position where I think the eye should be. So I'm looking at the original here to where I think it should be, and all it is that once I pull through, I'm going to stop as soon as I see it disappear inside the back of the head. Right there, done. So now I'm going to come up through the project and then back down the other side here. Okay, and then I'm going to go back up through that project, and then I'm going to come out where I think the other eye should be. So you can see it's pretty dark, it's just more of a technique. Okay, so then you can see that the eye is there, and then I'm going to go back up and then out where I think it should be on the other side, and then back up to where the other one is coming out of. I'm just going to come all the way down the project out through the bottom. And there is my eyes complete. So once it's out to the bottom here, I'm just going to trim it and then just reshape it to make it disappear inside, and therefore I have my eyes like so. So what are we missing? Missing the top loop, so let's begin to do that next. So just using the same brown, the loops have been pretty much the same throughout the whole thing, and we are going to then create the chain 9 that we had already been doing before. Make sure this starting strand is a lot longer so that you can use it to sew. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9, and then just leave an extra long tail. Pull that loop through. Give it a good tug on both sides, and then fold it in half, and then just pull out so that the yarn strands are getting to the same distance. If not, just trim it, and then just fold it over and put it into a darning needle. So right where it is now, I'm going to come through the back of the top of the head, and I'm going to stop as soon as the loop is at the top, and then go down through the loop. Okay, and then back through the project again, and then through the loop again one more time, and then I'm just going to turn it over and just get rid of the last end. So I'm just going to go back and forth in the project a total of 3 times just to get it stuck. And then as soon as that's in, you can trim it. And therefore there is my Rudolph, and you can just shape it if you want to, and all of that. So it matches pretty close to the original. Here I just used the Karen Tweeds yarn. It was actually, this is the yarn that I used, the soft tweeds. So I saw this over at Michael's, so I really wanted to jump on it, and it has that fleck in it, so it's a really nice, unique look. So until next time, I'm Mikey on behalf of Yarn Inspirations as well as thecrochetcrowd.com. We'll see you again real soon. Bye.